Welcome back. We're going to pretend with this volunteer portion of the starter that you've forgotten about it in the back of the fridge. You went on vacation, you didn't have anyone come over to feed it and walk it and take care of it, and it's nasty looking. It's mostly clear liquid on top. There might even be some mold in the container. First of all, don't panic. Underneath that top layer of liquid, there's still some yeast and bacteria living. Now, if it's been in there for 6 months, sorry, can't help you. If it's been on the counter for a month, please do yourself a favor, throw it out and get fresh. But if it's been in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks or a month, maybe 2, it's worth it to try to rescue the starter. Now, the technique that I'm going to show you is called washing the starter. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the majority of the waste product, which is the alcohol and acetic acid that the bacteria and the yeast have created in the liquid, and we're going to take just a very, very small amount of that bacteria and yeast and put it in a nice, clean, fresh environment so that it will grow quickly and be happy again. Now, this sample here, what I've got is all that you need. You actually don't even need this much out of a container that you've taken out of the fridge. You've poured off the liquid on top, the mold, and in the middle of pouring off the last dregs of it, catch it into a clean container like this. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put even less of it. I'll do it that way so you can watch. We're going to take just a tiny little bit of that, and what we're trying to do is, by pouring off all of the liquids and all the junk on top first and catch it in midstream, kind of a clean catch, if you will. Some of you will know what that means, and the rest of you, don't worry about it. You're getting all the mold and the junk that you don't want in your starter out of the way first, and in midstream you're catching a clean sample of what's left of the live bacteria and yeast. Then you're going to take this and you're going to fill it full of water. You're going to take your fork, spoon, whisk, fingers, whatever you want, weapon of choice, stir it up. This is a very, very dilute culture of your sourdough. It looks like milk. Don't leave it on the counter. Somebody will drink it. They'll be very unhappy with you. Now, I'm going to come back in just a moment with a clean container. You're going to want to clean this with the hottest water you can stand. You don't need to use bleach or soap necessarily because you'll leave that flavor in the plastic. But clean it with the hottest water you can and make sure it's absolutely clean before you put your fresh starter in it. I'll be right back. Now, it's nice and clean. It's sanitized. It's been rinsed in hot water. We just want to kill any remaining mold spores in there. The symbiosis between the yeast and the bacteria are such that other bacteria, molds, fungus aren't going to grow in the culture if it's healthy. It's just like the microorganisms on your skin. I'm sure you've heard about people who use way too much of the alcohol, hand wash their hands too often, and their skin is dry, it's chapped, it's unhealthy. That's because you've taken away all of the good bacteria that live on our skin, and the bad bacteria has a chance to grow. What we're doing is we're taking out the waste, we're getting all the mold out, we're cleaning the container, and now what we're going to do, keep that stirred up, we're going to create a fresh playground. You don't need very much for this starter culture. Once again, I don't weigh when I feed. I don't measure. I do it by sight. That is a little too thick. tiny bit more water, otherwise you're chasing the consistency. It's like salt in the soup, as a friend of mine says. It's really easy to put in, but it's awfully hard to take out. And you'd be adding flour and then adding water and adding flour and adding water all day long. That's about right. You can see that consistency in there, like pancake batter. Now what we're going, now this is about the consistency when we're done with this. We're going to take about maybe a quarter cup of that, and we're going to put it in there, and we're going to stir it up, and then we'll add just a little bit more flour to thicken it up. Now you can just put the flour in and then pour this liquid in. That might be better if you don't want to waste a lot. And that is a brand new sourdough culture. It might take a week or two. You want to leave it out for a little while in room temperature so that everything can grow, and then you can put it back in the fridge. But I would feed it every 12 hours to every day for the first couple of days until it's happy, bubbly, and back to its normal self. All right, back in the fridge with you.